Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Thursday, the 6th of March 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a look Flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we've got today. Truth Machine has posted here saying nearly 70,000 genuine Bitcoin in just this one address is part of the National Crypto Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. That will be for the US. So we'll have a look at that. And somebody else has said, how are you connecting these addresses to a strategic reserve one? Genuinely intrigued. So we'll go over that. That's good. I can't believe it. US government's got 70,000 genuine Bitcoin already. Got this article here by Craig saying the critique of Bernard Bailyn's, the ideological origins of the American Revolution. Sounds quite intense. Quite looking forward to hearing that. Cointelegraph has said what to expect at Donald Trump's crypto summit. Also, Trump's White House crypto summit confirmed attendees so far. Scott is absolutely appalled at the names on here. It's literally the crypto goons, as you'd expect, the shitcoiners. Like, good grief. We've got some 365 days of Bitcoin history. We'll just have a quick look at the figures because why not? And then that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
See Satoshi like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Alrighty, here we go. So Truth Machine saying nearly 70,000 Bitcoin in just this one address, part of the National Crypto Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. So that's from What's on Chain. Let's have a quick look at this. 69,370 genuine Bitcoin. Whoa. That is actually quite a lot. He said people spamming the address with op returns. Here's an interesting BSV Faucet service. Oh, cool. Where's the button at? What's this? BSV Faucet. Hey, cool. I didn't know that existed. That's ace. Support the faucet. Keep this faucet running by sending some sats to. Current balance here. 0 Satoshis. 1 claim Satoshis. Alright, cool. Cool. Loving that. Straydales, Abby Straydale said, how are you connecting this address to a strategic reserve one? Genuinely intrigued. And Truth has said here is because Trump announced during the campaign that the seized coins from law enforcement would go into the reserve, and BTC did not exist until 2017. These coins were seized by Silk Road and exist on BSV, BCH and BTC. So in other words, they're unsplit. Let's have a look at this. I tracked down the Silk Road seized coins on all 3 chains. Truth Machine is an animal. An animal. A machine, ironically. An absolute machine. Loving that. Loving that. That is brilliant. Brilliant. Honestly, the tenacity of some of the people in BSV, absolutely brilliant. Love it. Love it. Right, let's get onto this article by CSW. When did he write this? Is there a date on this? It was posted today. I'm guessing it was today. So despite his injuries, still writing things like this. Let's have a look. A critique of Bernard Bailyn's The Ideological Origins of the American Revolution. 1. Introduction. Bailyn's Ideological Origins Revolution, American Revolution. Histography. Shifting focus from economic interpretations, e.g. Bread 1. The influence of radical wing and enlightenment through a thought. He argued colonists perceived British actions as tyrannical power grab, not isolated incidents, while transformative Bailyn's emphasis on ideological unity neglects other crucial factors. Holton, as a counterpoint, demonstrates the role of economic anxieties, particularly in Virginia. Furthermore, social tensions involving enslaved people, women and the poor complicated the notion of a purely ideological driven revolution. Ultimately, the fractionalism among revolutionary leaders, exposed divisions beyond mere shared anti-British sentiment. I guess that's what we're facing at the moment, really, with this one-word totalitarian government. People denying it, other people like showing all the evidence for it, other people not wanting to hear it. People got different ways of dealing with it, how they're coping with it, and yet, this one-world government absolutely focused on what they're doing. Sticking to the protocols of the Elders of Zion. That was written in the 1800s, literally, rigidly, literally not diverging from it at all. They all know about how to do it, how to corrupt the world in order to install their own ideology, which again will implode on itself because that's what evil ideologies do. While Balin's work is essential for understanding the revolution's ideological underpinnings, the minimization of socio-economic factors and assumption of ideological coercions oversimplifies the complexity of the events. Positioning Balin within the broader historiography, together with Wood's Republican synthesis and Holt's socio-economic perceptions, divulge the revolution as a convergence of political thought, material interests, and social struggles. 2. The argument, the revolution as an intellectual movement. Balin posits the American Revolution as fundamentally in an intellectual extension driven by radical wing and Enlightenment ideas, not merely economic grievances. The author analyzes pamphlets not as propaganda but as illustrations of genuine political anxieties. Colonists from Massachusetts to Virginia interpreted British policies as a tyrannical strategy and invoked Locke, Harrington and Montesquieu. Balin stressed the conspiracy mindset maintained colonialists saw British actions as a systematic assault on liberty. This fear of power, rooted in the radical wing tradition, permeated colonial political culture, assenting vigilance against despotism. Balin demonstrates intellectual cohesion across colonies. Where was that? Just lost where I was. Balin demonstrates intellectual cohesion across colonies and uniting revolutionaries through shared ideology. Wood later built on this, arguing the revolution was a radical attempt to build a republic on these principles. Balin redefined the field, showing ideas not just justified but animated revolutionary action. However, his focus on pamphlets privileges elite discourse, raising questions about the renaissance of these fears across social classes. Holton's piece exposes the significant role of economic anxieties and local grievances, and in this challenges Balin's emphasis on ideology alone. While Balin undeniably established the revolution as an intellectual movement, his interpretation necessitates further exploration of the interplay between ideology and other motivating factors. Strength of Balin's approach. A profound swing in the historiography of the American Revolution was commenced through the argument that ideas, not just material circumstances, were pivotal to its genesis. Such concepts directly challenged the entrenched progressive orthodoxy exemplified by Charles Beard, which had long reduced the revolution to a struggle over property and class dominance. Balin's work shattered this materialist determinism by revealing the colonialists were not merely calculating actors protecting their purses, but individuals animated by deeply embedded ideological tradition. Principally the radical wing conviction that unchecked power was the harbinger of corruption and liberty's ruin. Such a shift from economic determinism to ideological agency established a new interpretive framework that continues to shape scholarly debate. An enlarged examination of the primary sources fortified this reorientation of the revolution's meaning, no longer confined to the declarations of patrician statesmen. Attention turned to the clamour of pamphlet literature that coursed through the colonies in the tense pre-revolutionary years. Long derided as transient polemics, these pamphlets, under scrutiny, exposed a coherent ideological lexicon, a shared grammar of liberty and corruption that bound disparate colonies, and classes in common political imagination. The development of this approach expanded the scope of revolutionary thought past the well-trodden ground of elite discourse, revealing the political anxieties of a broader cross-section of colonial society, merchants, lawyers, printers, who perceived British policies as an existential hazard to their liberty. These leaflets functioned as both a gauge of public opinion and a call to arms, facilitating a reconstruction of the intellectual climate in which defiance of the British rule was not merely expended but a moral imperative. This methodological innovation treated partisan rhetoric not as merely propaganda, but as a substantiative evidence of prevailing beliefs, underscored that the revolution was conducted not only with military force, but also with the potent weapon of political discourse forged in the crucible of transatlantic intellectual exchange. This revolutionist lens firmly enabled the American Revolution within a transatlantic and Enlightenment framework, linking colonial resistance not to isolated grievances, but to an enduring intellectual tradition forged in the upheaval of the English Civil War and the Glorious Revolution. The radical wings, inheritors of the volatile political lineage, fused the American discourse with deep-seated fear of power's inevitable descent into corruption. The Republicans' ethos, magnified by Locke's, I think that's Locke's, natural rights, Harrington's vision of balanced government, and the Montesquieu's separation of powers, became the ideological architecture upon the revolution rested. No longer confined to nationalist narratives, the interpretation recast the revolution as a critical episode in a broader Atlantic struggle for self-governance. J.G.A. Pocock later refined his perspective, sketching the lineage of Republican anxieties from Renaissance Florence to 18th century America. Here, Pocock demonstrated the revolution was not a parochial dispute over taxation, but a manifestation of the perpetual contest between liberty and arbitrary rule. This confluence of factors, the paradigm-shifting nature of the argument, the innovative use of pamphlet literature, and the contextualization of American resistance within the more prominent undercurrents of Enlightenment political through solidified and innovation understanding of the revolution, by indicating that ideas were not merely justifications for action but powerful motivators in their own right. This perspective reinstated intellectual agency to the revolutionaries. It challenged the deterministic interpretations that reduced the conflict to a mere struggle for material advantage. Such a stance elevated the intellectual history of the revolution to a position of central importance, a legacy that continues to shape scholarly inquiry. Limitations and critiques. While groundbreaking in its emphasis on political thought, the ideological origins is not without limitations. A sustained critique targets Balin's inclinations to subdue the economic undercurrents beneath colonial resistance. Woody Holton's examination of Virginia's planter elite revealed that indebtedness, precarious land holdings arrangements, and the constraints of imperial trade policy compounded elite fears, indicating that material vulnerability coalesced with ideological arm. The Stamp Act and Townshend duties were not merely constitutional provocations, they jeopardized the wealth and stability of colonial merchants and the planters alike. Equally problematic is Balin's portrayal of the ideological unity among revolutionary leaders, a narrative that dissolves upon closer inspection. John Adams' dread of unbridled democracy stood in uneasy tension with Thomas Palin's radical levelling spirit. At the same time, Alexander Hamilton's insistence on a robust national authority found its antithesis in Jefferson's agrarian republicism. Far from a seamless consensus, the revolutionary coalition marked profound fissures that fractured almost as soon as British rule was cast off. Finally, the reliance on pamphlets privileges elites' discourse, marginalizing the experiences of those revolutionary engagements was less informed by wing theory and more by immediate material concerns. Enslaved people, for instance, imagined potential liberation in British promises of freedom. Urban workers and women, through active participants, seldom found their perspectives reproduced in the pamphlet literature. This narrow focus thus risks reducing the revolution to an elite struggle, masking the diverse coalition that challenged the imperial power. Conclusion. Balin's work remains indispensable for understanding the intellectual foundations of American independence. His demonstration that ideas, particularly those drawn from the radical wing tradition, shaped the colonialist resistance, fundamentally altered the historiography of the revolution. Yet Balin's emphasis on ideological coercion leaves gaps. Economic anxieties and social tensions intertwined with political thought in ways his work underplayed. Later historians, notably Woody Holton, have complicated this picture by foregrounding the material realities of debt, land, and enslaved resistance. At the same time, Gordon Wood, J.G.A. Pollock have deepened the exploration of Republican ideology's transatlantic roots. Ultimately, the revolution was not reducible to ideas of interest alone. It was a convergence of ideological conviction, economic grievance, and political contingency. Balin captures the intellectual dimensions with brilliance, but his legacy endures, indeed, because it invites rather than forecloses further inquiry into the revolution's complex origins. Jeepers. Just the language used in that is not something that it's almost like a different person wrote it. It's almost like he's upped his game. It's like he can post out on Twitter and relate to the common man, and then when he wants to write something that you sort of like PhD level, he can produce something like this. Jeepers. That was epic, and it's all referenced as well. Look, all referenced. Amazing. Right, back to elementary level literature. Here we go. What to expect at Donald Trump's crypto summit. This is an article here by Cointelegraph. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and strategy executive chair Michael Saylor said they'd received invitations to the March 7th event, so that's just tomorrow. Since US President Donald Trump, AI and crypto czar David Sachs announced plans for the White House to host a summit featuring industry leaders, give me a break, and policymakers. Shouldn't Satoshi Nakamoto be in there? Many are questioning what the focus of the event will be. On March 7th, according to Sachs, prominent founders, CEOs and investors from the crypto industry will meet with members of Trump's working group on digital assets at the White House, presumably to discuss policy issues related to crypto and blockchain and potential regulatory framework. The announcement preceded the US president's intention to include XRP, Solana, Cardano, massive shitcoins, in a crypto strategic stockpile being explored by the working group. Honestly, it just goes to show you no one has an effing clue. Literally, not an effing clue. Among the individuals confirmed to be attending the White House event are Trump Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, good grief, Paradigm co-founder Matt Huang, Strategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor, Chainlink co-founder Sergey Nazarov, Exodus CEO JP Richardson, Sachs and Working Group Executive Director Bo Hines. Garlinghouse supported Trump's presidential campaign personally and helped pro-crypto lawmakers through Ripple's donations to the Political Action Committee, Fair Shake, leading some to speculate that other donors, including Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong, Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, and Kraken co-founder Jassy Powell might also attend the summit. Where's Satoshi Nakamoto? They'll all come running when Terranode comes out. Oh, what's Terranode? Oh, well, that's how you scale blockchain, you fools. So crypto policies, executive orders and law under Trump. Some Republican lawmakers in the 119th session of Congress have already moved forward on crypto-related legislative priorities by proposing competing stablecoin bills. However, some Democratic lawmakers have used hearings to criticize Trump for launching his own controversial meme coin in January prior to taking office, a project whose team continues to earn millions of dollars from trading fees. Oh my god. Though many leaders in the crypto industry have testified during congressional hearings, the summit appears to be the first large gathering of digital asset executives at the White House. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried reportedly met with officials in the Biden administration in 2022. At the time of publication, there were no additional details available regarding the Crypto Summit's agenda. Cointelegraph reached out to the White House and Hines for comment, but did not receive a response at the time of publication. Well, anyway, eventually the truth is gonna be revealed, because all these people are talking about it. They haven't figured it out yet, but we here in Genuine Bitcoin BSV are already there. We're literally already at the top going, hello, up here, can you not see us? They're too busy like looking at their feet going, what's this, oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, too busy looking at the rocks they might stab their toe on rather than actually looking at the top of the mountain, you know. Dear, oh dear. But the shitcoiners are going to be in trouble, because eventually the truth is going to come out. So Trump's White House Crypto Summit confirmed attendees so far. Trump's first White House Crypto Summit confirms key industry leaders fueling speculation over a potential US Bitcoin reserve policy announcement. As US President Donald Trump prepares to host the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, the industry is watching closely to see who will be invited. The roundtable, scheduled from 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. UTC, is expected to include more than 25 participants, including members of the Presidential Working Group on Digital Assets, the Fox business reporter Eleanor Tarrant. As of Wednesday morning, Tarrant reported that 11 crypto executives and 2 White House representatives had confirmed their attendance. Unclear as of now who, aside from Bo Hines and David Sachs, will be attendance. But if you go back to Trump's executive order, the Presidential Working Group also includes Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and SEC Chair, the CFTC Chair, and others. So, yeah. What's this confirmed? Oh my, CEO of Exodus, Coinbase, Robinhood, Kraken, Crypto. Do you know how much they know about Bitcoin? I'll tell you how much they know. Fuck all. Literally. No. Kathy Wood knows nothing. Vitalik Buterin knows nothing. Jeremy Allaire, co-founder of Circle, knows nothing. Paolo Ardano is an absolute scammer. Charles Hoskinson, another scammer. Yatali Yakovenko, founder of Solana, another one knows nothing. Mark Andreessen, founder and general partner at Andreessen Horowitz, again another bunch of shysters. They know nothing. They know nothing. And Trump will be like, well, you lot are pretending to be the smartest people in crypto. How can you not know this? They'll be talking shit. People will come away from the meeting just as confused as they were when they went in. Because all this lot who don't know naff all are literally going to be covering their asses, talking absolute shite is what they're going to be doing. Because they can't do anything else. Because they know nothing. Literally. Oh, honestly, I cannot be bothered going through that. But Scott here has posted, he said, please tell me at real Donald Trump isn't serious about some of these guests. You have some of the most scammy scammers in crypto attending. Where are the real blockchain players? The ones who fight for transparency and honesty. The ones who fight for blockchain technology that can actually be used by everyone. Yeah, Bo Hines, David Sachs, Brad Garlinghouse, Michael Saylor, Paolo Ardornio. I've not heard of Carl Samani. Yeah, Kathy Wood, Charles Hoskinson, Yatoli Yakovenko, Vitalik Buterin, Nat Ellison, Mark Andreessen, Paul Atkins, SEC Chair, Brian Armstrong, Coinbase, and CZ. I mean, literally, the scammiest scammers in crypto is what we've got there. Honestly. Oh, what a joke. Anyway, it's getting some 365 days of Bitcoin history, because that's 24 minutes already. On the 6th of March 2014, journalist Lee McGrath Goodman pointed the finger at Dorian Nakamoto as the creator of Bitcoin. So this will happen on the 6th of March 2014. Look at this. Everybody remembers this. This was epic. That's where this picture came from. I mean, but the face behind Bitcoin. Oh my goodness me. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I think there we go. There's a picture of Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto. Lived not far from Halfini. Got absolutely hounded for everybody thinking that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, and he denied it. And everyone was just like, well, of course Satoshi Nakamoto's going to deny it. He was literally caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, poor guy. I mean, literally global coverage. I mean, look at the lengths they went to. Look at that. March 17th, 2014. I think this was... my name is Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm the subject of Newsweek's story on Bitcoin. I'm writing this statement to clear my name. I did not create, invent, or otherwise work on Bitcoin. I unconditionally deny the Newsweek report. The first time I heard the term Bitcoin was from my son in mid-February 2014 after being contacted by a reporter. My son called me and used the word, which I had never before heard. Shortly thereafter, the reporter confronted me at my home. I called the police. I never consented to speak with a reporter. In an ensuing discussion with a reporter from the Associated Press, I called the technology Bitcom. Brilliant, because he didn't know what it was. Poor guy. That's hilarious, but. Yeah, this was the first time somebody unsuccessfully trying to point the finger at Satoshi Nakamoto. But I tell you who did do it successfully the following year, in 2015, in December, was Gizmodo and Wired magazine. And then 2016, Craig was just like, okay, look, you got me, yeah, I am. And then they're like, no, you're a scammer and you're a fraud. Yeah, honestly, the shenanigans behind the scene is outrageous. On the 6th of March 2015, Konstantin Ignatov was arrested, that was March 6th, at the Los Angeles International Airport on a wire fraud charge for his role in operating a fake cryptocurrency called OneCoin. And this was Ruja Ignatova's brother, I believe. I think she stitched him up, basically. But I mean, what an amazing history of crypto and Bitcoin. What a legacy. I mean, absolutely insane. The things that have happened because of it. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the figures then. This is Bitcoin versus Gregcoin. Just plodding along sideways there. We'll have a look. Bitcoin USD. Just shot up there and then came down a bit. Again, looks manipulated to me. Orange Gateway saying the price is 36.94. Yeah, 36.12 in the top left corner there. Bitcoin versus Gregcoin, just plodding along. All right. There we go. So if you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Sentby.com, Handcash.io, Rockwallet.me, Simply.cash, Relaser.com, or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
The king still has one more move.